Good morning, everyone. My name is Karen from Gate Ventures. Gate Ventures is a Gate IO VC arm of Ventures, and we have honorable speaker today, Teresa from Management Partner Director at Opsis Capital, and also Avery, Investment Manager, and Wistron Corporation, Wistron. Let's introduce you about yourself first, and let everybody know.
Hi, everyone. I'm Teresa, and I'm the founder and managing director of Opsis Capital. I'm Teresa. I just saw a few friends out to wave. So we mostly do investments in real estate as well as renewable. And on the side, I do some angel investing in like F&B, beverages, and like healthcare. Yeah. Oh, and my background is actually investment banking and corporate finance strategy as well as entrepreneurship. And I used to live in the States in Hong Kong. Recently moved back to Taiwan.
Cool. Avery.
Thanks, Karen. My name is Avery from Wistron Corporation. In charge of early stage investment, both fund-of-fund investment and direct investment into startups. Before Wistron, I graduated from NTU in the School of Public Health, and I joined different corporates, including healthcare, financial institutions, and then electronic manufacturing. And among those corporates, I'm in charge of corporate innovation and digital transformation. Thanks.
Yeah, I think everyone's interested in a lot about VC industry, no matter on Web 2 and Web 3. And I think my first question is, based on your past experience, what would you say is your most interested or successful investment? Can you share with the audience?
Sure. I think traditional investments are generally like pretty tedious. I'm going to talk about something that's a little more interesting because generally speaking, traditional investment with a return of 10 to 20% is considered relatively good on an annual basis. But about a year ago, I invested in a platform. And it basically is a platform that connects supply and demand of energy. So basically, we get energy from all these different solar providers, and then we match it with corporates like potentially like Wistron and Taiwan Mobile. And that platform we invested about a year and a half ago, and they basically 10x in terms of valuation. So that was a very interesting deal. They recently received Series A funding from a conglomerate. So I'm very excited to see how it pans out after this integration.
Yeah, 10 times is awesome.
Yeah, but generally traditional investments are not like that. Like
Exactly.
real estate and even like investing in solar farms, usually 10 to 20%. That's considered really good already. So that's why I think it's important to do both like traditional as well as a little more high risk, but you kind of keep the ticket size at your own like appetite.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I can get as good performance as you are, because Wistron Corporation, we set up our VC arm in 2021, and it's relatively young because we are at the 4th year and still waiting for some startups to grow. And we went through the downturn like in 2022, and our VC fund, direct investment, is focused on Taiwan founders. So it's relatively very, not difficult, I would say. We will try to push all the startups to find a greater, bigger market. So I would say for Wistron, our company, the greatest or most successful investment is the project we invested in NVIDIA 8 years ago. At that time,
Who is the shareholder here?
at that time, NVIDIA was still a startup, and they are looking for manufacturing partner. But no big corporates want to take them because they contribute not meaningful revenue for the big corporates. But at that time, we have an engineer team that they have free hands that can say, hey, maybe we can try something new with the startups. So we end up have a good consequence of our stock. Our stock price goes high last year because of NVIDIA, of the investment, and what was a 抓到那个风筝的尾巴？How to say that?
Get the
Catch the
train.
wave.
Catch
Yeah.
the wave, kind of catch the wave. So we hope that's one of the reason why we want to invest more in the startup ecosystem and try to find more like these opportunities.
Yeah. So I'm also from Web2 background, marketing. And for the traditional investment fund, usually focus on some stable investment, mature asset like Opsis Up Capital, invest a lot of real estate at LA. And Wistron, of course, technology, AI, manufacturing. But in light of the current market trends like war or geography, e-tends, what is the strategy for employment to build a realistic portfolio during this impact or factors?
I think so. The global market is super uncertain right now. There's so much like geopolitical tension. I think as an investor, I think diversification is super important. So I think I obviously do a lot of real estate and solar, and I think those are considered more fixed income products. So you have very predictable returns, but at the same time, I think it's also important to add into like equities, add into like fixed income as well as some alternative like VC and PE investment. So I think your best way to hedge is definitely diversification across geography, asset classes, and as well as industries. Yeah. And also recently, I mean, this is a blockchain week, right? So I recently dabbled, maybe a few years ago, I dabbled into crypto as well. Did a little bit of ICO, but
Nice.
paid a little tuition there, but made some money on other coins. Yeah. So I think it's important to always be mindful of where you are and your risk appetite as well, because I think everyone is different. Like I can't tell all of you guys to invest in X when your risk appetite is Y. So I think it's just really understanding where you are and what you're looking for.
Yeah, the diversity is very important in the portfolio.
Yes, on top of diversity, I mentioned that we do direct investment and fund of fund. That's one of the way we diversify our asset. And for fund of fund investment, we actually invest in United States, Israel, Southeast Asia, and started from earlier this year, we have Japan and Europe. However, on top of diversify your portfolio, I think find a trustable GP in local GP. For example, we have several GPs in Israel, and we heard of all the news from media, from no matter where, and say that Israel is going, that's very dangerous, and you cannot fly in, and lots of founders join the army, and actually one of the portfolio company from one of our GP, the CEO just died in the war.
Oh.
However, the portfolio grew twice faster and twice the valuation in last half a year. So your trustable GP partners will give you some more detail and more correct information and what's really happening in local market. Like in the Israel stock exchange market, it reached out to their historical high recently, and also it's also the good time to invest in, because while lots of LPs or foreign investors hesitate, the local market is still booming. So these cooperation will give you more information to help you to evaluate the risk and help you to not be biased. It's always biased, but help you to not afraid of your investment.
Yeah.
Right? That's it.
Yeah, I think the next question is for Avery. So as a company that specializing in hardware like Wistron manufacturing, how does Wistron view AI? Now it's a hot topic in this industry. And have you ever observed any new investment opportunity lately?
Yes, we are very lucky to catch up on the AI wind. But besides AI, besides Wistron Corporation itself, actually we have different affiliate and subsidiaries, including Wistron Ranti, Wistron IT services, and Weiwing for data center equipment for Meta, AWS, and Azure, and WNC, the deep tech company focused on wireless communication, and Wistron Medical, Wistron Education, and recently we have one of our subsidiary going public is called Quanjing Ranti, is focused on cybersecurity. I would say out of our affiliate and subsidiaries, I won't say they are focusing on AI, but every company is AI company now.
Yeah.
Including Wistron Ranti. Actually, the Wistron Ranti is doing software outsourcing business, but they need what they provide for their customer is the human capability or capacity, right? However, these human capacity, they have built up a lot of AI tools internally to help their engineers to deliver the products more
Efficiency.
no matter efficiency or quality. So for our investment into early stage startups, actually now we see AI is everywhere. So I would never say we are investing in AI because it's phenomenon and everywhere now. However, I am more focused on the infrastructure, no matter an AI infrastructure or blockchain infrastructure, because it's more fundamental and it evolves every day. So we are try to engage in different communities around the world. Of course, Silicon Valley is one of these, and to try to understand what's the next trend of the infrastructure. And for infrastructure community, we are always talking about the tech problems we want to solve. Firstly, we talk about the tech problems, and second, the business model. So you can see OpenAI first. They are solve the problem of LLM, and then once the technology problem solved, they were looking for the business model. I don't think in an early stage company we will talk a lot about the business model at the very early stage, because we are looking for solving the fundamental problems first.
Yeah, totally agree. Get Ventures, we are actually focusing on Web3 infrastructure as well, because that is a fundamental, technology we have to build. So next question, I think, is for Teresa. Opsis Capital has been at the forefront of innovation in real estate and renewable energy investment. So over the past years, have you identified any promising trends or opportunity with those sector, and which thing do you believe the most?
I think real estate wise, I think in LA we're one of the first ones to do co-living. We're co-living developers. So, you heard of Common, they're more like co-living operators. So we develop and then we do operation ourselves as well. So I think that's a very interesting trend, because we started off in LA, and I think LA has a clear shortage of housing, because 50% of the people in LA actually rent. That's actually very high compared to rest of the countries elsewhere. And we've noticed that because housing developments are really slow due to increasing costs of construction during COVID, and also due to how complicated it is to obtain permits during building. So it's very slow to get new supply. So I think for us, we were like, okay, then I think that's an opportunity. We got to figure out how to build fast and how to build a product that's not currently already in the market. So I think co-living was something that we did. And it really works out with people like our generation because you want centralized location at a very affordable pricing, and also, you get to meet like-minded people, right? Because there's communal space. So the way we built is that we'll find centralized location like Da'an and Xingyi, which is where we are right now, and we'll pick the land. We built maybe a few units, and each units may have 7 to 8 bedrooms. So that's like 30 to 50 bedroom in one location. And people like us, will rent a 1 bedroom. We'll have the communal spaces with people. We'll have networking events. So I think people really like that. And there's also flexibility as well, right? Because there's a lot of digital nomad nowadays, so you don't have to be committed to like a 1 to 2 year long-term lease. You could do 6 months. So I think the demand for those kind of products is really high. I'm not sure if this will apply to Taiwan, but I think for LA it definitely works. In terms of real estate in Japan, we also see some other trends. So real estate in Japan, we don't actually develop ourselves because there's a lot of barriers. So instead, we're LPs to one of the funds. It's also one of my friends' fund. So echoing what Avery was saying, like GP selection is super important because they can really dictate the performance of the fund. And I think the strategy for this is very interesting. They identify a lot of boutique hotels. So, not the mega hotel, but like maybe like anywhere from 30 to like 80 keys. And I think a lot of these hotels are ran by local moms and pop, and they want to retire. So we basically go in, we identify these key products. We try to churn the operation, increase efficiency, as well as increase the ADR. And after 3 to 5 years, we package it and then we sell it to like a larger private equity fund. So that's also one strategy I think that really works for Japan. And given how weak how weak yen is in terms of currency, there's a lot of like foreign capital piling in, and obviously tourism is booming. Yeah.
Thank you for your sharing. Yeah, I think building the long-term investment portfolio is really important. Doing like that we mentioned, geography, political, trade war. So how do you balance short-term market ups and down, and the goal to creating the long-term value? Or do you have any interesting story during the past year, any political issue that impact your portfolio?
Wow, it's been
A lot of
tough
story.
year and a lot of stories. As I mentioned, we started a corporate VC fund in 2021. So lots of a portfolio we invested is through the 21, at the highest valuation. And, Taiwanese market is far behind the United States market. That means the correction of that valuation lag for almost 1.5 years. So until now, I'm still handling the, no matter down round or recap at this time, 2024, okay? So it's been very tough for all the Taiwanese teams. No matter, Taiwanese stock market is also reaching the historical high.
Yeah.
But for early stage startups, it's, while all the investors are saying that you can check out, United States startups, the valuation, and compare to yours. Why you have the same? Why can you have the same valuation to United States while your market size is much smaller? So we're always facing this kind of challenge and try to help the startups to find their first case overseas, no matter in Japanese market or Southeast Asia. And fortunately, this year I have several AI startups, AI application startups find their big customers in Japan, so they can safely move at least a flat run to survive. So in the past 2 years, we try to survive with the startups and looking for next wave of technology growth and the market growth.
Yeah.
I'll keep it pretty short because I know we have a few more questions. I think in terms of like volatility, right, and also I think that obviously because interest rate was really high for a period of time, so that definitely impacts real estate. Because when the interest rate is high, people are unwilling to buy because it's too expensive. They don't want to take out mortgage. So I think that definitely impacted all asset classes within real estate, like especially commercial as well. So I think for us, we were able to weather through because our strategy was collecting rental. So we weren't in a hurry to sell. But obviously, if we need to recap or we need to distribute capital back to our LP, then that could be an issue. And I think there's a lot of noises in the recent year. There's, people always telling you what to buy. The market is always fluctuating. So I think it's super important to always stay disciplined and rebalancing your portfolio. I think a lot of people don't do that, but I think rebalancing your portfolio on a quarterly basis based on your risk appetite and based on performance in the last 3 months could really help you in the long term. Yeah.
Yeah. Since this is a woman panel, we have to talk about the leadership of women in the VC industry, technology industry. What would be the biggest challenge that you're facing, and how do you solve it in the end?
As a female, oh, it's very difficult to find friends, actually.
Friends?
Not friends, female friends in the community.
In the same industry.
I would say, actually, there are a lot of female 从业人员 colleagues in Taiwan, because we have financial holdings, and in these financial, actually lots of peers will inside the financial holdings, and but they're not going out frequently to join the community and network section. So I would encourage all of our peers to join Taipei Blockchain Week and other VC community events. That's the first. And second, for myself, because I have experience in different industries, and for Asian female, I would say the most important thing is follow your heart rather than follow the rules. Because most of the female workers, I believe most of founders, investors are the smartest and have been winning all the time in your past experience. Maybe you graduated from the best school because you are the smartest people that you know the rules and how to beat the rules, and you can be a game winner while you follow the rules. But when it comes to investment, it's not about winning. It's about to try to identify the trends, try to test your hypothesis, and try to find the future of technology. So there's no rule for you to follow, and you have to rethink all the time what's your core, what's your main thesis, and what's your heart really want to do, rather than try to find a rule that feeling safe. Okay, thanks.
I'll keep it short. So I think in terms of just doing investing for the last couple of years, I think that I'm often the only person that's a female in the boardroom. I'm the only female that's talking to family offices. Most of their counterparts are male. But I think being assertive really works for me, because I think you walk in and they're like, oh, you're a young girl, and they immediately undermine your credibility. So I think staying assertive and knowing what you're talking about, and I think at the end of the day, performance really matters, because you can just, here's my report card, it validates my perspective. So I think that that really helped me.
Yeah, thank you. I think follow your heart and have your portfolio successful is very important. That's why we set up this Women's Day to encourage all of the Web3 or technology women in industry to get together, know each other. And we have 他知道 to host this stage. We also have a women's lunch. If you want to share your experience, want to connect with other women, feel free. After this, we have the free section to the lunch. So I think balance the career as a woman, also the family, and you are studying EMBA, Taipei right now.
Finished.
Finished. Oh, okay. How do you balance your work and life times? We still have a lot of time, so don't worry.
Okay, because
yeah,
I'm
sure.
like, I have 30 seconds. So I think having a good support network really matters and having a strong team. So I think because a lot of the time, like people are perfectionists, so they want to do everything themselves, but just kind of learn to let go, delegate to your team, and definitely be willing to train them. So you have to train them to make sure they can, churn out work for you. So I think having a good team, good support network definitely helped me balance my work life. And also making it a priority as well. Because sometimes even if you have a team, you go home, you're just like nonstop. Because as an entrepreneur or managing your own fund, there's really a hard boundary to draw. So I think that priority is also, making sure you spend time with your family and friends.
I would say there's never a work-life balance.
True.
While we invested across the globe, there were always challenging to deal with different time zones.
Yeah.
However, I would say work-life balance is it's more about try to make enjoyable work, because when you are working happy, your life will be happy.
Yeah.
In reverse, if your life's happy, it doesn't means that your work is happy. So I would say first make your work happy. No matter you have a very supportive team or have a supportive boss, or have a supportive community with all your peers. Try to enjoy your work and make your work happy. That's the most important.
Yeah, thank you for your sharing. So what is your advice to giving all of the young women here, if they want to join tech or investment bank or VC, what they are looking for to build, how to join the industry?
Just do it.
Learn.
Just do it. No, don't think of too much. No matter if you are a male or female, no matter your gender, lots of 学弟学妹 come from me and see which industry is better. No matter because healthcare, financial industry, or tech, I would say just try it, and then you will
Go for
know,
it.
and then you will know what you really want.
Yeah, sorry. So I think there's actually a lot more male than I anticipated today, but I think this applies to both male and female. Just take a leap of faith, take that risk. Because I think for me, I've always wanted to start my own thing. So I think back in 2017, I left a startup and I was like, okay, it's time to start my own fund. And I usually make my decision pretty quickly. So don't overthink. Don't think too long, because if you think more than like a few months, 6 months, time pass and you might lose that urge. So I think just act quickly and definitely trust your instinct. Because in a world of investment, no risk, no return. So definitely take a risk, yeah.
Yeah, your life is just a startup. You need to deploy very fast and pivot and evolving fast.
Yeah, pick the trend. So now we have an open Q&A section. If you have any question, this is no women's or men's. Everyone can ask a question. So any question?
Oh, I can have a question for Karen, as Karen asked both of us.
Yeah. How about last question? If anything you want to add on to share with the audience?
Come on, friends. There's a lot of friends here.
Okay, Caroline.
Strategy for next year.
Ha,
What's your secret
2025.
investing strategy for next year?
And everyone still has to do their own homework because it's important.
Yeah, there's a lot of alpha, but have to do your own works.
You want
Go
me
first.
to-
I need to think of.
Or any tool that can help you, identify this is a promising investment. Any tool.
I think it depends on what you're investing. Because if you're investing in if you're doing angel investing or VC, then definitely do your due diligence on the founders. Because I think idea is very cheap, unless it's like a proprietary AI idea. Because I think if you spend enough time with a founder and you can see how resilient they are, that's usually a good indicator of how successful their startup would be, and in turn how your money how you can multiple on your money. In terms of equities, 因为这边不能报名牌，所以 but I think people can increase a little bit of exposure on equity, especially because we're all really young here. So I think generally speaking, our risk appetite should be slightly higher. Because I came from investment banking, and back in the days, bankers, we can't buy equity. So it wasn't until maybe in the last 5 years I started to dabble into equities a bit more, and I think the return there generally. It depends on your risk appetite, but if you're really conservative, I would highly suggest just buy ETF. Because generally speaking, ETF outperform 80% of fund managers. Yeah. So I think that's 我最中肯的建议。对。
ETF.
Yeah, whenever you have.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. That's my sister, by the way.
What would you consider your most successful portfolio case in 2024?
We already talked about that.
First question,
Came
but
late.
don't worry. Can share what was that? Like keywords.
I think energy platform. Yeah. Avery, 你要讲吗？
For next year's plan, I will not say it's a secret sauce, but share of our what I'm doing currently, because we want to engage in more technology communities across the globe. So besides why we started from this year invest in Japan, it's because the Japanese government have put a lot of emphasis into the venture capital ecosystem. And I'm still observing what will happen in the next 2 or 3 years, because it seems like our experience in the past 5 years, when the government want to put a lot of money into the ecosystem, you will see a startup booming. However, you will see the correction in 5 years. So we are still observing the consequence of these kind of funds. But we still want to engage in the community and try to engage their deep tech community, especially because the booming is in the Web 2 community and the digitization economy, rather than deep tech. I would say more science-related institutions. So now I'm trying to build up these kind of connections to connect no matter hardware and software technologies. So Japan is worth watchable in the next 2 years.
All right.
Hi, thank you for sharing all your information. I have a question, and it's not meant to be contentious, it's curious, but VCs, at least in America, sometimes have a bad reputation for being a bit heartless and investing in things, making money. For example, when you talked about the story of packaging up boutique Japanese smaller hotels and then selling them off, someone with a more critical view might say, oh, that's just going to trash the charm of that hotel. So obviously, you're all very successful in investing. Do you ever have to grapple with, I guess, the ethics of some of the investment choices you're making, in addition to looking at the emotional resilience of the founders? Do you also have, how do you grapple with kind of balancing making money, doing what's right for your company, but also what you feel personally good about from a humanitarian standpoint?
I think everyone's very different, but I can speak for myself. I think I generally really care about the ethics of the founder. So if I find that they're a bit short-sighted, they're not strategic, they're thinking very tactical, that's definitely not the kind of founders I want to work with. So when you talk about like hotel, actually, when you sell it to private equity firms, because obviously they still need a profit, right? And they usually, a lot of the private equity firms actually make money from cash generation. So that means they need to make sure the properties are, at a very good state. They want to make sure maintenance operation is great. That's how they can continue to generate cash flow. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they would trash the hotel per se. And generally speaking, they will want to, maybe invite larger flagship hotel and impose that brand on these hotels. So sometimes, you might have a better experience. Yeah. But echoing your point, ethics is definitely something that I look for when I make an angel investment. Yeah.
I would add on to Teresa. We don't think to close a company is a bad thing. Sometimes it's the correct solution at different time being. So I don't actually myself don't see it as a failure. In the past 2 years, we went through these tough times. Sometimes it's the quick and clear solution for the company and start up another startup quick, right? So it's not about if it's not about the VC support the startup or not. It's about which solution at this time is the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of we learn each other and grow together. That is our own goal and things. Yep. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much again. Let's give a round of applause
Thank you so
to
much.
Teresa
Thank
and
you,
Avery.
Karen.
Let's take a
Thank
photo.
you so
in the
much.
middle.